I want my foreplay to be so in depth I forget that it's supposed to lead to sex. She's like, you've been breaking boards for like 40 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, the sex.
The only wood I like in my sexual intercourse is broken. Yeah!
You're listening to the Noisy Business Podcast, the unapologetic comedy podcast that takes you deep into the semi-sophisticated mind of Brayton.
Have you even heard of the bro code? I've considered selling marijuana, but I just don't know how to get it. Pretty sure that dude's a Nazi. She said my dick was racist.
And the untamed imagination of Sean.
I never learned how to wash my hands. I was homeschooled, okay? It made me cream my pants. There's people in the audience that need to know we're talking about dicks.
Sit back and turn your volume down. It's about to get noisy.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to the Noisy Business Podcast. I'm your host, Sean, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Brayden. What's going on, Bray?
I'm here again, once again, week to week. We will never die.
We will never die, but we will
die.
We're gonna die. Yeah.
It's very apparent. I was going to say the what is dead will never die.
Oh, the Game of Thrones line. What
Yeah.
what the Ironborn people say.
Of course.
But you didn't get there because you're not Ironborn.
Yeah, because like we talked in our last episode, I'm a little bit of a stoop.
Oh, it's okay. But at least I know that I'm no longer a simp.
That is
listen to that last episode from last week. We educated ourselves and we
learned some new things, got some new words. Sean had some self-realizations, which was a very fun time had by all.
Yes, I realized that I was not a simp. Also realized I talk more about my shoulders on this podcast than any other time in my life.
You talk about your pecs and you talk about your shoulders.
And
usually it has to do with some very troubling or what some people would say problematic instances.
Yeah, some people would say that. I wouldn't personally. I think I don't. I realize I don't talk about it nearly enough in my day-to-day life.
Why? Who's saying that? Because I got two guns that I need to show them.
Which, so this is very interesting. It sounds like we're talking like, jokes and stuff, but it's interesting because the way we're saying it makes it sound like at least one of us has a very big ego, which is the topic more or less that I wanted to talk about today. So jumping right into it, The word of this episode, the topic we will be discussing is humility. And humility in the sense that go ahead.
I was going to say in the summertime, I hate that.
I love whenever you put your hand up, it blocks the camera angle on my side. But you are talking, it doesn't matter.
My bad.
You're not being humble enough.
I'm sorry.
I know this because I'm the most humble person I know.
Listen,
okay?
I'm trying to help you out. That's what I'm trying to say. Humble you down a little bit.
It's okay, go ahead.
Thank you. That's a little bit more awkward on your side. Anyhow, I was going to say in the summertime, I hate the humility. It is just... super duper.
The deep south is so
humble.
It's so humble.
Yeah,
I see what you're trying to do, but it's almost
you got those deep humbleness in your drawers.
No. What you're thinking of is humidity, my friend.
Okay, now we're learning again.
Exactly. So we're learning new things every week on the Noisy Business Podcast. Join us. We can learn about new things every week. We talk about new topics. We delve deep into trending stories about how it relates to whatever topic we're talking about that week. And right now we're talking about humility in the sense that basically I believe as a human being, one of my personal philosophies, if you will, is that everybody has or should have a bigger capacity to be humble.
Okay.
And that people are not humble enough. We live in a time in 2021, especially in later years with the internet and online trends and fast-paced
self-absorbed
videos. The people that kids look up to, that teenagers that are very impressionable, they look up to these people that don't exactly have the smallest of egos. Would you agree?
We live in a rampant selfie society.
Ooh, that's right. One of the most popular
phrases of 2021.
That's right.
Get it now, guys. Here we go.
Oh no. I think it was added to the dictionary in 2019.
What, selfie?
Yeah, selfie.
Oh, okay. Dang it, I'm
but it was
seriously.
But one of the most popular things that we share with millions of people on the internet, on social media platforms and stuff, is our selfies of ourselves. We want to show off how I think I look good enough that I'm going to share this with people that follow me. Maybe you share with people that you don't follow you or whatever, because self-absorbed. Does that make you self-absorbed if you want to do that?
In a way, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I won't go into like technology and the evolution of
that
everybody,
aspect,
but
sure.
it is. I mean, we're talking about this on a podcast that is listened to by people. But why are we? When you think about it, why are we creating a podcast?
We're creating a podcast because we enjoy trying to make people laugh.
Correct, but that's also kind of we want other people to hear us talk. Like you have a little bit of an ego to just think that you have something we're saying.
Are you saying that we invested hundreds, if not maybe over $1,000 at this point in equipment and lessons and experiences, all this new gear and the visuals and all the new elements that we have going on with our branding, just so that we can feel better about ourselves and make people hear the sound of our own voices?
I'm not specifically saying that. But you bring up a good point. We got a lot invested in this.
You're making me realize a lot of things.
Yeah. Did you not think that you're going to be humbled in this podcast?
No. What I'm trying to say is if we doubled down and invested twice as much, probably twice as many people would be able to see my face online and then be able to listen to my voice on whatever app they're using to stream their podcast.
I don't know if that's exactly how it works, but it tracks. I like it. We need to do it.
All right. Now, just one big issue that we need to get out of the way as far as egos go.
Yeah.
Is that it's spelled very similarly to Eggo. And the thing about that is that one of them is a delicious waffle. Mm-hmm. And the other one is not a delicious waffle.
That can if you let it run rampant, can ruin your life.
Oh, can you use that in an analogy? Like kind of like tight.
Okay. So if your Eggo gets too big, say
it's too big for your plate.
Yeah.
And your syrup, when you put syrup on it, it spills all over the place, and then you have a big sticky mess.
Yeah. And then the next thing you know, you're getting a divorce.
Exactly.
And because you're not gonna let your wife tell you that that's too much syrup.
No.
So
I'm a grown man. I know when too much syrup is too much.
Mm-hmm. And it's not too much when it's dripping onto the table after I've put a generous amount on my Eggo waffle.
That's right. So
if you let that happen, you might have an ego.
As far as letting things happen, if this hypothetical divorced wife, maybe if she knew how a toaster oven worked or a toaster worked, she wouldn't have overcooked the Eggo waffle and then made it dry and just undesirable and disgusting, and then it wouldn't put me in the position to pour that much syrup and use all the butter and not save any for her. Yeah, that's a really interesting analogy. Mm-hmm. Hits close to home. I'm not talking about personal experience or anything.
Oh, okay.
But
I mean,
how much syrup is all right? Now let's get down to the nitty gritty. How much syrup do you put on your Eggo waffle?
Okay,
one dot per square. What's your ratio? What's the ratio?
1 dot per square,
and then a little bit extra.
Not enough. You got to put it. Yeah. If you're doing dots,
you're poor. That's how poor
you're clearly rationing.
First of all, you're probably not doing very well because you're eating frozen Eggos. So you're already have made a couple mistakes, bud. It's okay, bud, but that's not how you enjoy an Eggo.
Oh, for sure. And honestly, if you're a nice shall we say a family that's they're not well to do, but if you're
they can afford frozen waffles.
No. I'm saying if you have frozen waffles, you're probably not doing okay. If you're doing all right, you're making that batter. You're making fresh waffles.
You got a waffle maker? No, not the machine of waffle maker. Like a person in your house that is your butler that will make you waffles.
Oh, well, that's a different level. We know that level. That's the life we live.
Well, we're fine. That's the life I want to live.
That's you keep calling me on Saturday morning saying Brayton, make me waffles, and I still can't do it.
To be fair, I have my list of names that I call on Saturday mornings of just everybody that I want to come make waffles.
So you go through Andrew, Andy.
I start with the A's.
Yeah. And then
there's somebody specific, Ryan, a female named Ryan. Who has promised multiple times to make waffles, and she does not hold true to her promises.
Ooh, call outs.
We shook on it last time. And
Wait, you shook on it.
We shook on
it. Wait, she promised to make you waffles
because the
You
first
shook
time
on it.
because the first time she promised.
Okay.
I know everybody's kind of like, wait, you're saying she, but the name's Ryan. Try to keep up. Okay.
Guys, this is a progressive podcast where we you can have a man's
True
name,
story.
you can have a girl's name. It doesn't even matter.
Exactly. And I'm not lying. This is a true story. First time came over with a few friends, said that she was going to make waffles and then had to leave.
And this was not a euphemism.
No. This is literally just waffles.
Okay.
No exchanges or favors or flavors were exchanged for delicious buttery waffles.
Wow.
Like scratch waffles.
No.
And then a few weeks after that, ran into her again whenever my roommate and brought her over and a couple other friends who were just hanging out. And I was like, oh, look who it is. And then she apologized and she said, you know what? I promise tomorrow, because it was a Friday night, I promise tomorrow morning I'm going to make waffles because I know I promised last
stay
time.
the night.
Maybe or leave. I don't know.
I don't know. Are you afraid your parents are listening to this podcast, Sean?
No, she's not staying the night with me.
No, yeah, your parents are listening to this podcast, aren't they?
Are Nathan's parents listening to this podcast? Is what I would be concerned with.
Oh,
listen, adult sleepovers are a thing, and that they don't need to be sexual either.
No,
but if there's one thing that we need to get very serious about on this podcast that we don't really take a lot of time to take moments like this to express our seriousness. Fool me once on promising waffles, shame on me. Fool me twice on making waffles. She's a bitch. Oh,
oh yes. Oh, well, I mean, it doesn't rhyme.
Just kidding. Okay, no.
There you go.
But she it was. I didn't ask her to shake on it. She said, here's my hand. We'll shake on it. And I was like, wow. And I even referenced everybody's the movie that's coming into everybody's mind right now, Emperor's New Groove, when Pacha and Cusco, he's like, I'll shake your hand. I promise to take you back to the temple. And Cusco extends his hand, and then Pacha says, don't shake on it unless you mean it. And I quoted that. And then she looked at me, shook hands. Guess what happened the next day? I was downstairs cleaning the kitchen in order for the process of the waffle making to be easier.
Whoa, okay. This is very interesting because instead of making your own waffles in the
kitchen was a mess because the friends that came over left things kind of messy, and I went to bed before them.
Your roommate's friends made them waffles, and you had to clean up their waffle mess, and you were waiting for your friend to make you waffles.
There were no waffles to be had.
Oh.
And so anyway, I'm down there talking to another roommate of ours.
A wench? Wait, no.
A dude.
A wanch.
A wanch. And who do we see coming downstairs is the lady that we already named and made eye contact. She didn't say anything. She walked out the front door.
That dirty.
So ladies, if you're going to, whether you're friends, acquaintances, if you're married, if you have known them for one day or a decade, it doesn't matter. If you promise to make somebody waffles multiple times and you fail on both occasions to do that, and you don't really go out of your way to apologize, even when they shake on it, like you might as well be like Saddam Hussein. Like you're like bottom of the barrel.
Yeah.
You're literally a culinary terrorist.
Well,
you're making the world a worse place.
Okay. Well, Sean, I feel like you've specifically left out the dates. We did not realize that she said she had to go somewhere, and on the day she left, it was January 6th. We're not saying where she had to go to, but she left pretty early. She didn't have time to make waffles.
January 6th? What happened on January 6th? That could have been more important than frozen waffles.
Let's say it begins with a C, and it's a capital C, and the capital was invaded on that day. I'm just saying, if she didn't have time to make waffles, she probably had to go somewhere else.
All right. Well, thanks for listening to this little segment on waffles. We are going to continue our discussion on, that was all true story, by the way. We're going to continue our discussion on humility. But first, we've got an interesting segment because I believe we got some fan mail, Bray. Is that right? He's gonna pull.
Yes.
He's gonna pull it up on his.
I thought
iPad.
you were gonna. I think gonna put in the. Where's the music?
I'm going to. It looks like you need more time. Here we go.
No.
Here's a song about fan mail.
It's the fan mail time.
And if you want to write us, you can go ahead and slide into those sexy DMs on our Instagram. Take a break.
See DMs on our Instagram.
And you don't ever forget, if you need advice from a friend, you never ever forget to. Oh, that's the end of the song.
Okay. Well, we do have a fan mail, so that's great.
I'm so glad that we had all that written out and we were going line by line.
We rehearsed
it. It was
it.
like a one-take wonder.
Oh, man.
Cool. All right. We got some fan mail today.
So there's no name attached to this, so that's good because
Keep it anonymous.
I'm usually pretty good at releasing your name.
Is it? That's true. We will read your name if you put it on there. Is it Ryan apologizing about Waffle?
Let's see. What's up? This week has been a rough one. I work in the food and beverage industry, and because of COVID, my boss had to lay off a couple more employees, including myself included. That sucks, bro. Sorry about that. I have been a server there longer than anyone, and I was shocked to say that at least I would be let go before some of the others.
Oof. No.
That is sad.
Sad story, bro. Okay, keep going. That's the saddest song that we have on there.
There
We're
we
not
go.
trying to be dramatic.
Let's see here. Times are already tough. Times are already rough, but now I'm stressed over what's to come. Any words of encouragement or something to make me laugh would be appreciated. Love you and what you do. I'll stay noisy.
Oh, thank you for staying noisy. Well, it sounds like you've got yourself into a rough situation, friend. Thank you for writing out that fan mail and explaining the situation so we understand where you're coming from.
Yeah, dude.
And if anybody else has a tough situation, obviously, like we said in the perfectly detailed introduction song, just to reiterate, go ahead, slide into our DMs on Instagram, leave us some fan mail or leave us a email at noisybusinesspod@yahoo.com.
Eventually, we'll get a P.O. box and you can send us Eggo Waffles.
That's right.
If that's legal to do. I don't know.
Yeah. With no syrup, because we will apply that later. Now, anyway, so this guy, or girl or gal,
Sounds like they've been humbled.
sounds like they
Be appreciative for the job that you have.
nice tie-in. Yeah, so they lost their job. It sounds like they've been there for a minute. And obviously, we all know because of COVID, the economy has been impacted.
Yeah.
Food and beverage and hospitality have been
Okay.
probably the hardest one
All
hit by the economy and the changes that have been going on since the beginning of 2020.
This is true.
So either they're looking for advice to cheer them up, or we make them laugh.
Okay, I think we can do a little bit of both.
Perfecto.
Now, every door that's closed, another one opens, right?
That's what they say.
Start a door company.
A door company.
A door company.
Oh,
Yes.
cool.
Now, this is going to take a little bit of time for you to get to get behind me, because if you're opening a door company, you're gonna need doors.
Sure.
So
Everybody needs doors, right?
everyone needs doors, but you don't have them.
So you're saying that
So what do you gotta do?
company
You gotta pull yourself up by your bootstraps.
where are they going to get the money to start a company? It takes a lot of money
I know
to
it's
start
really
your own
hard.
business.
It's really hard, and you need to have that backlog of doors. So
You know what you could
what
do?
do you got? What do you have to do?
You have to break everybody's door that's on your block and then tell them that you're jacking up prices.
No, you can't. Sean, you can't. You're not thinking this through, because you can't just repair doors. You don't know how to repair doors.
No.
You need a door company.
Yes.
So, but you don't have doors in stock. What do you gotta do?
You buy.
You gotta get the doors from the houses. So they're easily. They got these little hinges that you just pop them right off. Door comes right out. Now you got doors.
Wow.
Now,
Okay.
who's gonna call you? I don't know. Maybe there's a backlog of people who just have doorless houses now. Huh?
Right. Supply and demand.
Who's the only person who's got doors right now? You got
Home Depot.
ample doors. And what is this? You have them in the color that they like.
Wow.
So
Just so happens. Okay, so you're telling them to go into theft.
what? I'm telling them to start a door company. And if you need to increase your stock, doors are easily accessible.
Okay.
And now you're creating a environment where it's vertical integration, and you're able to have customers that they need doors.
Oh.
You need doors. So you just, how you acquire those doors, it's very easy.
All right. Well, that is one batch of bad advice that you can take and run. I mean, bad advice. That's up to everybody else. If you think that's good advice and you want to do that, I've got a different idea.
It's a way to make money. It's a way to start a business.
So I've got a more humble approach.
Okay.
And humility really is the name of the game in this situation, because being let go from a job that you've been at for a while, and when you don't want to leave, when you're being let go, you're not being fired. They're just put in a tough spot. They gotta let employees go.
You're getting laid off.
This is my advice to you. Obviously, you can't go back in time, but to anybody else that's in a similar situation, or if this happens to you again, listener, this is what I would do.
Yeah.
When your manager, your supervisor takes you aside, and they put you in that room, and they're like, hey, listen, times are really tough right now. We've been forced into making decisions that we didn't want to make, but we have to think about what's best for everybody that's still here in the future of our company. Mm-hmm. And we've made the collective decision that unfortunately we need to just let you go right now.
Yeah.
There's just not enough hours to go around. There's not enough money coming in that we can keep you on.
Yeah. Thank you for working for Amazon.
Thank you.
But we're doing actually really good.
No, that's what Jeff Bezos wants
Yeah,
you to think.
no, it's pretty hard right now.
So anyway,
we gotta let you go.
My advice is whenever they tell you that, you just say, nah.
You just say nah.
Well, because you could, that's the humble option. You could
take the humble option.
You could the non-humble option would be, no, you can't do that. I'm way more valuable than so and so, and so and so steals from here.
This is what I've done to
so and so has stolen.
Yes.
You want to know what happened to the freezer doors?
The non-humble way is throwing people under the bus.
Snitching. It's like, listen, you can have each other's backs until you got your back up against the wall, and then you got to start pointing fingers, be like, no. You want them. I'm great at my job. Kathy's terrible at her job. Switching cameras again. Yeah. So that's the humble way to do it. You could start pointing fingers, but I say take the high road approach. Just say, kind of bite your tongue just enough, but not hard enough where you can't let out a nice confident. Nah.
Maybe even pause. Just give it a.
I say, do it quick,
you're thinking about it.
Quick inhale, then the pause. Where you? Nah. Yeah. Because that is confident and humble at the same time, which is really a winning combination. Speaking of winning combinations, this episode is sponsored by the delicious chocolatey chips from Eggo Waffles. Pick up yours today. Thank you from our sponsor, Eggo.
No, it's not. I don't think we can say that. It's not a sponsor.
Yeah, they sure are.
No, you're going to need to show me some receipts, sir. And not just the receipts that you got from Eggo.
Oh, well, in that case, we might as well do one of these.
Get your reverse sponsorship, yeah? Reverse sponsorship.
Here's how it works. Until your company pays us, we're going to continue to give you bad reviews. It's as simple as that.
Show me the green stuff.
Money bag.
Got it.
We're pretty sure this is not blackmail.
Get your reverse sponsorship, yeah? Reverse sponsorship.
All right, Eggo. So here's the thing that we're going to do about Eggo Waffles. We're going to start talking about negative things, because I realized that we didn't talk enough about Eggo in the previous segment.
Oh yes.
And obviously Eggo, I feel like, is doing pretty good right now, and we need to extort them for a little bit of podcast.
They're a little too, shall we say, high up. Their ego's too big.
Ooh.
Let go of my ego.
Say maybe they're a little too well done. Okay.
Yes.
But this is the point where we start saying bad things about your crap, lousy product, and we're going to continue to say it until you pay us.
Allegedly.
Right.
Now, the everything, because here's the thing. I don't know, and we've never legally talked about this. Or we've never talked about the legality of what we're
about to say. Yes, but there's a connection between Eggo Waffles and the Holocaust.
Wait, is there?
You finish what your thought, what you were going to say, and I'll explain to you in the most humble way how those connect.
I think it cannot be. We have nothing to say about Eggo specifically, but this other company, Lego, not, dang it, Mego.
Get your reverse
What the
sponsorship,
heck did
yeah? sponsorship.
Here's how it works.
Hold on a
Until your
second. What's
company
going on?
pays us-
I thought we transitioned to Lego. We're gonna reverse. We're gonna start roasting Lego. No, but then I accidentally. hit too many buttons.
Yeah, you
Okay,
fat fingered that,
first
bro.
of all,
You need to be humbled, sir.
Okay, I got fat fingers. Okay, I got fat meaty fingers because I've been working on my grip strength. Okay, my shoulders are popping in perfect male condition.
Okay, Sean, I promise that I will bring up how good you look when I get here. You do not have to talk about it every single week.
Okay,
Sean's like, I don't want to say that I have a lot of progress going, but you haven't said anything about me.
You want to? Hey,
my
you want to
major
say?
traps.
We've been learning things every week. You want to learn something about this week? Take a look at that. You see that? It's called a deltoid. Ever heard of it? Anyway, wait. Are we making fun of Eggos or Legos now?
Okay, hold on.
because one of them you step on, one of them will paralyze you, one of them will just be squishy and sticky.
I'm actually kind of serious. I don't know if you can actually talk bad about a product without there eventually becoming a problem.
Freedom of speech until they pay us. How is that illegal? How is this a legal thing?
Because I think you have to you can talk about your experiences, but even in like some comedy specials, they are required to change or change a company name or because it can't affect their business if what you're saying isn't necessarily accurate.
Well, with that said, I will.
But we're kind of. I think we're misrepresenting what the initial reverse sponsorship of the reverse sponsorship segment was originally meant for. Is we were going to say and talk about your company good things until you pay us to stop.
No,
because you have to. Because the reverse sponsorship is that they are not sponsoring us to talk about their product, and once they pay us, we'll stop sponsoring it because these.
I just muted you because I just literally had to take a boss decision because do I have to play the introduction for the third time on the same episode? Do you need to learn something this week? What the pre-programmed button? What the blue button does? It says here it is until your company pays us.
Yeah. Correct.
We're going to say negative things about them because otherwise if we're saying good things about them, why would they pay us to stop? That doesn't make sense.
Because companies do not want to be associated with our podcast.
That's why they pay us, because we're saying bad things about them.
No, we do. We're just saying nobody is sponsoring our podcast because why would you want to?
Are you saying that Eggo Waffles would not want to be associated with a podcast that said that they're directly related to the Holocaust?
I'm going to go on a limb here and think that they probably would be apprehensive.
Brother,
here's the thing.
This is derailing. We need to stop talking about Eggos.
This will be an off the podcast kind of thing because maybe the song will change.
I don't think it will.
It took a lot of work to put together.
Go ahead.
Okay, so yeah. Take it as it is.
Until your company pays us, we're going to continue to give you bad reviews. It's as simple as that.
Until your company pays us, we're going to continue to give you bad reviews. It's as simple as that, Bray.
Okay, how is that a reverse sponsorship though?
Because that's what we called it.
No, I feel like you're not remembering what the fundamental way that it is a reverse sponsorship is, because they are not paying us to talk about their product.
They don't. The audience doesn't care about this.
Correct.
The audience wants to listen to us talk about humility and less about waffles and extortion and blackmail. Should we just?
I'm just saying I'm in a very big legal situation with Trojan condoms. Since the last episode,
have you ever wanted to eat a waffle but also need to put a condom in your mouth for adult reasons?
Someone
Eggo flavored condoms.
Someone may or may not have received a cease and desist.
I need more like a cease and a sit on that
on
waffle
my face?
flavored. Yeah. Okay. You know it. Okay. So we're talking about humility.
Okay.
Brayden, has there ever been a time in your life where you were not prepared for reality to kind of put you in your place where you were just immediately humbled?
Yes.
What was that? Recent time from your childhood? Whatever instance comes to mind. What do you have?
Does wedding night count?
Oof. Do you have a wedding night story or?
I didn't until I thought it would be funny to say.
Oh no.
No. The wedding night was just fine. It was a great couch in the Hyatt. So
A couch? You couldn't afford a room?
yeah, we were very young and very poor.
Like, did you know that if you go to your honeymoon the day after your wedding, actually, that you don't have to pay for a room, you can just kind of like bang one out in the lobby couch. and most of the time,
Listen,
most of the time they're not going to stop you.
Married.
You're going to stop us on our wedding night. They're like, "This is your wedding night?" Yeah, and you're interrupting the most important moment of the beginning of our marriage. Maybe our entire relationship, and you're gonna ruin this.
I'm about to make the first style.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go talk to my manager, and then you say, "Yeah, you better," and then you pull out another maple flavored condom from Eggo Waffles.
You say, "You know what? Bring more people. Let's get a group here."
Get a nice like slow clap build up going on in the lobby.
Oh man,
No, I mean. No,
I don't know if a slow clap at a climax would be all that.
No,
great.
it ramps up and it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it slowly builds until the appropriate moment.
Yeah, you don't want to. Okay, a slow clap during sexual intercourse needs to happen close to the end, but not right after it finishes.
Well, technically, if you're doing good enough lovemaking, the clapping is constant.
Correct. Ha. Ho. Ha.
Oh, you practice your karate at the same time. It sounds like, yeah. Like, Brayden, stop doing your taekwondo and make some eye contact.
Listen,
once in a while.
I watched 3 episodes of Cobra Kai and I can't help it.
I watched 3 episodes of Cobra Kai.
So,
to be fair, ever since that show came on, it's become a very, very hot topic in the bedroom as far as foreplay goes. Turns out the 90s kids that grew up with that movie are really into the gentle karate foreplay
karate
of East LA. Well, you're not going to do actual karate in the bedroom. That would hurt her.
Well, you'd be breaking boards.
Breaking bones and yeah, like she's like, we've been doing. Do
you have to break 6 of them?
She's like, I want my foreplay to be so in depth I forget that it's supposed to lead to sex. She's like, you've been breaking boards for like 40 minutes. I'm like, oh yeah, the sex.
The only wood I like in my sexual intercourse is broken. Yeah. Okay,
that would be really bad if she said that. She punched you right in the cock.
All right. Well, now we're just describing my wedding night. So,
you got a direct hit on Mr. Mills.
A direct hit on Mr.
Well, I'd say direct blow, but that can imply other things.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, we don't have to get into all that. And that's what she said.
She said we don't. She's like, you know what, Brayden? We could make sweet tender love, or hear me out. We could karate. It's like, well, I've never done karate with a boner before. That sounds like a winning combo. Kind of. Yeah.
Listen, there's 2 things in my life that I haven't done yet.
One of them, have sex with my wife.
Sex. And 2, nail a freaking wing. Double-ended kick.
Oh no.
I can't remember what that is called.
No, but anyway, yeah, it is a trending topic in the sexual fantasy world these days. So
humiliation or humble? Is it called humiliation or is it called humble?
No,
humble and
karate.
Okay.
Honestly, you should be. Yeah, actually, you know what? That's a good transition. Sure. Really quick, we can say it's important to stay humble in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to think you're too big for your own britches.
Yeah.
You don't want to, because if you are gonna exceed what surpasses your physical limitations, you could hurt yourself.
Yeah.
You could hurt your partner.
Yeah.
You could damage more than your body. You could damage your relationship.
Yeah. That's why I
always stretch.
Stretch.
You should always stretch before, stretch after. And if she walks in on you and you got things preheated, maybe she's like, why are you doing that to yourself? Be like, babe, I'm just stretching first. I'm just stretching it out.
This is more for you than it is for me.
Yeah. Exactly.
But yeah. I mean,
keep the black belt. Put your black belt over your forehead, I would say. Tie it behind your head. If you keep it on your waist, it's just going to get in the way of things. It's going to collect it's going to collect a lot of sweat.
I mean, it's a good handle for her if you're not doing it right, where she can kind of yank
That's
it.
true. If your partner's into such things as being tied up or gently choked,
All in consent.
Exactly. Actually, it sounds like black belts have a very you're only supposed to use karate for self defense. Actually, don't ever forget that.
That's why I have my wife attack me.
That's right. So,
All right, babe, I'm ready.
you can't just
Come on.
You can't just do karate at your wife. You have to get her to attack you so that when the police show up, you can be like, "Hey, officer,
This is all
in my defense. This is all in self defense." I can't get it up unless I do roundhouse kicks. I'm sorry. Anyway, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, humility. That has nothing to do with karate.
Okay. To be honest, I did have a back in high school. I thought, or I considered myself to be pretty athletic, to be in maybe the upper echelon of my peers.
No, when you say
of being it,
peers, you were homeschooled in high school, correct?
very much so. I could beat almost anyone younger than me.
Almost.
I was faster almost all the time.
Okay.
I also, but so we had some of the sports things that we did was actually based off of these Awana games. Now Awana is a Bible club, which is very different. Everybody knows, grew up Christian.
It's kind of like Sundays.
It's an alternative.
It's like Sunday school on weekday nights where you still get together, you learn about the Bible verses, you play games, and there's crafts and songs and stuff. But it's focused on memorizing scripture, memorizing passages from the Holy Bible.
Correct.
And some people have used the word brainwashing, but when you're a kid, you go for the snacks, for the socialism. Not socialism. Sorry, for the social.
I'm going to guarantee you they would not be happy with.
Okay, well, think about it. There's a bunch of people standing in rows wearing red uniforms.
Okay,
reciting the same unifying allegiances. You're pledging allegiance to the flag, which is also red.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there was a picture of Stalin up in the church at some point.
That was Moses, you numbnuts.
Okay, Moses didn't have a mustache like that. Moses had a big white beard.
And he didn't have those military bandoliers.
You're telling Moses had a USSR patch on his robe, bro. Bro, we went to a communist.
Was that not the same thing? You know what?
Bro, that wasn't the Bible. That was Karl Marx, bro.
Oh, man.
Anyway, no.
This explains how I vote nowadays.
It was like a Bible school, but like youth group, but you would play games and hang out with your friends and stuff.
Yeah. And
they were the games were special though. They were kind of wacky games.
Once a year. So yeah,
and it would always boil down to once a year.
Once a year, all the churches that were part of this group would meet up and they would challenge their might in these team events. Events like
the three-legged race,
beanbag grab,
you would play tug of war,
balloon relay.
The balloon relay. What's the one where you would have the balloon and all the boys would stand really, really close to each other and you'd pass it between each other's legs?
Oh, the fuck my butts.
Yeah. I heard
that's the balloon. That's the balloon.
I heard they had to cancel that one because a couple people got pregnant.
A couple girls. Everyone knew it was segregated.
No, a couple girls got buzz cuts. They slipped in there and they got pregnant because they didn't use their maple syrup flavored condoms.
Indeed.
Again, Eggo
or Trojan.
Send the check. Wait. Does Trojan make the condoms or does Eggo just supply the flavor for Trojan for the condom? Anyway, we can talk about that.
We'll get into
Okay, so the balloon relay. No, these teenagers,
anyhow.
like between like 12 and like 16 years old, whatever, they would pass a balloon between each other's legs and they would literally stand like crotch to butt. Yeah. Like 6 boys in a row.
Everyone knows the shortest distance between 2 points is a straight line. But we're going to... We'll get into the weeds of it.
There's nothing straight about that line, bro.
That's not the point.
Let me tell you.
There's... that's neither here nor there. The main thing that I was good at, that I thought my prowess was at its highest, was a three-legged race. And at the end,
because you got a big hog, and they were like, "Why is he 3 legs right there?" So it should be good.
This is just a sprint.
So thank God I'm not circumcised. I can't. I'll just put a shoe on that thing, and
my compadre,
Your companion.
that was strapped to my thigh, in this 3-legged race, we broke.
Your comrade, would you say?
Yeah. Dang, he saw right through my Spanish. We broke several records on multiple years for being in this 3-legged race. We did I don't think they've even broken them yet. Like, we were so fast at being tied up together.
So you're record breakers. You are
Correct.
Awana Games
record holders. Yeah.
And
Still,
so
almost 20 years
that doesn't
now.
sound like it would check your ego. That sounds like it would boost
Correct.
your ego quite a bit.
Upon reflection, I'm kind of thinking that the record breaking may have had to contribute more to who I was tied with rather than me being being the force that got us through those.
So it was less of a team sport, and you're saying it was just like a big guy that was picking you up and dragging you along the court.
That I may have been dragged throughout the thing. I mean, I did my best.
I don't want to be insensitive here, but I got to ask questions.
Okay.
Because you're telling stories. My job to ask questions.
Be inquisitive.
What would you say the color of the okay, Brayden, what would you say the color of the skin was of this partner?
I don't see how that matters.
Would you describe him as Caucasian?
I don't see race. I don't know what you're. I don't know what you would say.
If you don't see race, but did his family descend from the continent of maybe not Europe? Maybe Africa?
I didn't pry into his historical background.
Was his pigment, his epidermis darker than yours?
I'm homeschooled. I don't know what that means.
What was his name?
Lecrae?
Lecrae? Is he a Frenchman, or was he what I'm trying to get at? But that's okay. So I understand what you're trying to say. You did not see race, and so therefore you thought that you were equally responsible for setting records and being a huge stud in these games. But turns out that years past, when you're looking back, there was maybe somebody that was just a force to be reckoned with as far as athletes go, that went on to like college.
We don't need to go into the full
athlete.
backstory of Troy Lecrae Johnson. He is a stand-up fellow, and it's
What state was he from?
what state?
What state was he from?
Atlanta?
No, that's a city in Georgia. Okay. Okay. He was like, his words, not mine. This was actually his. Give me some fried chicken. It's like, okay, Troy Lecrae Johnson.
I'm just saying. Upon reflection, I think I've been. I may not have been
Troy? I'm a
little humbled.
He was your three-legged partner. You guys were in close proximity. You guys spent close proximity. You guys spent a lot of time together. You probably learned a lot about each other, right? A lot of likes and dislikes in their family life. What was his favorite food or restaurant? What was Troy constantly talking about when you guys weren't talking about strategy?
Listen, we know for a fact. Listen, I'm not exactly sure they actually tied me to his leg.
Would you say that this person? I mean, it's really not about race, but would you?
No,
say,
we were in a race. It was a three-legged race. Like,
sure.
I mean,
as
that's
far as
the whole point of
ethnicity
it.
goes, I mean, if the three-legged race somehow had an element of, if there was like a triathlon type thing where you had to swim, would you and Troy do equally well?
Probably not.
Why would that be? You think?
Well, probably because our legs are tied together. No one's going to swim very well that way.
Okay, say you guys were untied. Would Troy be a Troy Lecrae Johnson? Would he be a capable swimmer? Would you say?
I couldn't speak to it. We never went to pool parties.
You never went, or you? I know you went to pool parties because I saw you there growing up.
Yeah, that's right.
I never saw him there. Now, why would he not want to go to a pool party? Would you think?
Listen, what scares another man is his own business.
Sure. Okay, so he came from Atlanta. Now I'm just trying to paint a picture here.
But to be fair, when you invited me to those pool parties, you were very specific on some people not being invited. You're very exclusive.
Sure. Did he know his way around the KFC menu like nobody's business?
No, I don't. We couldn't afford it. I don't.
Did his parents have a bass guitar in their basement that he could actually
okay, first off, Sean, KFC is the white man's fried chicken.
Why are you talking about race, bro?
I'm not talking about race. I'm just saying that is a fact.
That's kind of offensive.
The Colonel is made for white people.
I think there's a lot of. I think everybody.
Johnson.
I don't think there's white people's palates are really different than necessarily other people's palates. So I feel like anybody could be equally able to enjoy it.
I shouldn't have brought race into it. I'm just saying. Troy did not care for KFC. He was a Popeye's chicken guy.
Popeye's chicken guy.
I'm just saying.
Okay, Louisiana style. Very, very, very close to Georgia, where he was from.
Correct. Anyhow, that's what I felt. What about you, Sean? What has made you humble?
What has made me humble?
What do you think? Humbleness. What does humbleness mean to you?
Okay. Well. Oh, that's really interesting.
You've probably run out of footage or.
Yeah. You know what constantly keeps me humble is listening back to the Noisy Business episodes and always knowing where we could have done better.
Ooh, yeah, that's true.
Short, sweet, honest, and I think that's all we got time for. Hey, Brayden, why don't you go ahead? It's about that time. Why don't you go ahead and let the audience know what they can do if they like this podcast?
All right, guys, smash that like button. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Review our podcast on, I was going to say Netflix, on iTunes, and all the other platforms that we're on. Be sure to hook us up on @NoisyBusinessPod. And until next time, stay humble and stay noisy.